What if I told you that in just 1 month, you could completely transform your financial reality, not by chasing money, not by struggling day and night, but by aligning with a power greater than circumstances, a power already within you. Imagine stepping into a flow of abundance so natural that wealth begins to seek you out instead of you seeking it. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to unlock that possibility. Wealth is not something to be earned with strain or begged for with desperation, but something that already belongs to you by divine right. The universe is endlessly abundant, overflowing with riches, resources, and opportunities, and not a single soul was created to live in lack. Every tree bears more fruit than it needs, every river flows with more water than it can contain, every sunrise pours light without limit. This same principle of abundance was stamped into the essence of your being from the moment you were created. You are not here to scrape by or to merely survive, but to thrive, to expand, and to live a life that reflects the limitless nature of the source that brought you forth. Wealth is therefore not a prize for the deserving few, nor is it withheld by some cosmic force waiting for you to prove yourself worthy. It is a birthright, just as natural as the air you breathe and the ground beneath your feet. Many people live under the false belief that money is scarce, that there is never enough, and that only through endless effort and struggle can one accumulate a fraction of what is needed. This is an illusion, a lie handed down by fear and limitation. The truth is that there is more than enough wealth in the world for every person to live abundantly. The limitation is never in supply, but only in consciousness. To awaken to your divine right to wealth is to break the chains of that false belief. It is to step into a new awareness where you recognize that money, opportunities, and success are not withheld from you, but are already present, waiting for you to open the door of your mind and heart to receive them. This understanding shifts everything, because when you know that wealth is your right, you no longer approach it with desperation or grasping. You approach it with calm assurance, with the same confidence a child has when asking a loving parent for food. There is no doubt, no fear, only trust that what is needed is already provided. Wealth flows toward that kind of certainty because certainty is magnetic. When you claim wealth as your right, you align yourself with the eternal flow of abundance that has always been surrounding you. You begin to see evidence of this right everywhere. An unexpected check arrives. A new idea flashes into your mind. A door opens that once seemed closed. These are not accidents or coincidences, but confirmations of the truth you have accepted. Life mirrors back to you the consciousness you hold, and when you hold firmly to the belief that wealth belongs to you by divine right, life has no choice but to reflect that wealth back to you. The world becomes generous, people become channels of blessing, and situations rearrange themselves in your favor. You no longer struggle to create wealth. You simply claim it, and it flows into your experience naturally. For it was yours all along. To release limitation is to free yourself from the invisible prison built by doubt, fear, and false beliefs about money and success. Lack is not a condition of life, but a state of mind. The world teaches people from an early age to believe in scarcity, to think there is never enough to go around, to accept the struggle as normal. Yet the truth is that abundance surrounds us in every moment, and the only thing that blocks it from flowing into our lives is the belief that it is not possible for us. Limitation begins with thoughts, and those thoughts shape words, and those words shape reality. To step into prosperity, one must first recognize that every limiting thought has no real power unless it is believed and repeated. The mind is like fertile soil, and whatever is planted there grows. If seeds of lack are sown, the harvest will be poverty and struggle. But if seeds of abundance are spoken and nurtured, the harvest will be wealth and increase. When you choose to release limitation, you are not ignoring reality, but creating a higher reality. You understand that words are creative forces, not mere sounds. Each time you say, "I cannot afford this," or "money is hard to come by," you are speaking commands to the universe that echo back to you in experience. Likewise, when you declare, "I am surrounded by wealth," or "money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways," you shift the energy of your life toward expansion and possibility. Releasing limitation means refusing to speak words of lack, no matter how things may appear in the moment. Appearances are temporary shadows, but truth is eternal. The truth is that abundance flows constantly, and your words are the keys that open or close the door to it. It is also essential to release the emotions tied to limitation. Worry, fear, and doubt are heavy weights that hold back the flow of prosperity. They create resistance, much like a dam blocking a river. When you let go of these emotions and replace them with faith, gratitude, and expectancy, the dam breaks and wealth begins to rush in. The moment you stop clinging to fear, you make room for abundance to move. Fear says, "What if I fail?" But faith says, "I cannot fail because my supply is divine." Fear says, "What if the money runs out?" But gratitude says, "My source is infinite and cannot be depleted." Releasing limitation requires discipline in thought and word. Each time a negative idea arises, you must cancel it and replace it with truth. It is a practice of constant renewal, of training the mind to think in terms of expansion instead of contraction. Over time, this discipline transforms the subconscious, and the new beliefs take root. Opportunities begin to appear where none seemed possible before. Money begins to flow from channels you never imagined, and life responds to the vibration of freedom you now carry. The prison door swings open because you finally stopped believing it was locked. The power of words cannot be overstated, for every word spoken carries a vibration that shapes the conditions of life. Words are not empty sounds but living seeds, and whatever is spoken with conviction is planted into the fertile soil of the subconscious mind and into the fabric of the universe itself. When someone continually speaks of lack, of struggle, of how hard it is to earn money, those words summon experiences that reflect those beliefs. The law of life is that like attracts like, and words are magnets that draw to themselves circumstances in harmony with the ideas they carry. To become wealthy, to rise into abundance, one must master the use of words and speak only that which reflects prosperity, joy, and increase. Affirmations are not mere repetition of phrases. They are spiritual decrees that command the unseen forces to move. When you declare, "I am rich in mind, body, and spirit," you are not lying to yourself, but aligning yourself with a truth that exists beyond current appearances. Appearances may show an empty wallet or unpaid bills, but words of wealth call forth the reality of supply that is already present in the unseen realm. The universe always responds to the authority of spoken word, and it begins to rearrange people, places, and opportunities to make the declaration come to pass. The mistake many people make is that they use their words carelessly, not realizing that every complaint, every fearful statement, every admission of lack is a prayer for more of the same. When you understand the power of words, you begin to guard your speech as carefully as a king guards his treasure. You no longer allow yourself to say, "I can't afford this," because you know such words create limitation. Instead, you say, "I am supplied in abundance," and watch as provision comes from unexpected channels. You do not say, "Money never stays with me," because such a phrase ensures it will always slip away. Instead, you declare, "Money flows to me and remains with me in perfect harmony." This change of language shifts the energy around you, and soon reality begins to mirror back the new story you are telling. Words also have the power to influence emotions, and emotions are the fuel that magnetizes manifestation. When you speak words of wealth, they create feelings of confidence, gratitude, and expectation, and those feelings amplify the creative power of the words. Each declaration becomes charged with faith, and faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Over time, consistent use of empowering words reshapes the subconscious mind, replacing old patterns of fear and scarcity with new patterns of assurance and abundance. The spoken word is a creative force that cannot return void. Once released, it sets into motion unseen activities that continue to work until the word is fulfilled. Therefore, to master words is to master wealth itself. By choosing carefully, by speaking only what aligns with abundance, you step into the role of creator, shaping your world not by chance, but by the deliberate command of your voice to see yourself as already rich is to live from the inner reality before it manifests outwardly. Everything that appears in life first begins in the imagination, for the mind is the workshop where all things are created. If you desire to be wealthy, you must first create the picture of wealth in your consciousness. Close your eyes and see yourself holding the evidence of abundance. Feel the weight of money in your hands. Hear the sound of opportunities opening for you, and allow your heart to rest in gratitude, as if it were already accomplished. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It accepts every picture you feed it as truth and begins to move circumstances to match the vision. This is why so many live in lack, for they continually picture lack in their minds and strengthen it with worry and fear. But when you see yourself as rich, you reverse this process and become a magnet for prosperity. Gratitude is the strongest emotion to accompany this inner vision, for gratitude declares that what you desire already exists and belongs to you. When you give thanks for money before it arrives, you create a vibration that hastens its appearance. Gratitude speaks a higher language that the universe understands perfectly. It says, "I trust that I am already supplied, and I rejoice in the fulfillment of my needs." This joyful expectation is what attracts wealth quickly because it removes doubt and fear, which are the only true barriers to abundance. To see yourself already rich while giving thanks for it sets into motion a spiritual law that cannot fail. It is also important to engage all the senses in this practice. When you see yourself rich, do not merely imagine numbers on a bank statement. Imagine the comfort, freedom, and joy that wealth brings. See yourself living in the home of your dreams, traveling where you wish to go, giving generously to others, and enjoying the beauty of life without restriction. Hear the words of congratulations from those around you, feel the texture of prosperity in your daily life, and immerse yourself so fully in the picture that it feels more real than your present. Circumstances, the more real it feels within, the faster it will materialize without. This practice requires discipline, for the world is quick to show appearances of lack. But you must remember that appearances are temporary shadows, not ultimate truth. The truth is abundance, and when you hold the image of yourself as wealthy with unwavering faith, appearances must eventually conform to that truth. Every time doubt tries to intrude, return to the vision. Every time fear whispers that it cannot happen, close your eyes and feel again the reality of riches already yours. Over time, this vision becomes so strong that it dominates your subconscious, and once the subconscious is convinced, nothing can stop it from expressing outwardly. Wealth becomes not something you wait for, but something you live from, and in that state of consciousness, the external world must align itself accordingly. Obedience to intuition is one of the most vital keys to wealth, for intuition is the direct guidance of the higher self leading you toward the channels of abundance prepared for you. Many people miss their opportunities because they rely only on logic and reason, which are limited to past experiences and current appearances. Intuition, however, comes from the infinite mind that sees the whole picture and knows the fastest way to your prosperity. It often speaks softly as a nudge, an idea, a sudden thought, or an inner knowing that feels undeniable. When you obey these promptings without hesitation, you place yourself on the path where miracles unfold and doors open that no effort of human reasoning could have arranged. The challenge for many is that intuition does not always make sense in the moment. It may guide you to speak to someone you would normally overlook, to pursue an idea that seems too bold, to step away from something that appears secure but is actually limiting your expansion. To the logical mind, such steps can feel risky, but to the intuitive mind, they are perfectly timed instructions that connect you with the flow of supply. Obedience in these moments requires trust, a trust that what you are guided to do is for your highest good, even if you cannot yet see the outcome. Wealth is often released through a single inspired step, and ignoring that step delays the manifestation. Obedience to intuition also requires quietness of spirit, for you cannot hear the still small voice when your mind is cluttered with worry, noise, and distraction. Times of silence, prayer, or meditation are powerful because they tune your inner ear to the frequency of divine guidance. In those moments of stillness, the right idea comes, the next move reveals itself, and you know beyond doubt what to do. The world calls it coincidence or luck, but those who understand the law of life know it is the result of obedience to intuition. Every great fortune ever created began with a single inspired idea, and those ideas are constantly seeking entrance into willing hearts. When you obey quickly, without overanalyzing, you send a message to the universe that you are ready to receive. Hesitation often closes the door, but swift obedience keeps the channel open. Many have missed their million because they guessed the inner prompting, delaying until the moment had passed. Opportunities are like waves. They arrive, crest, and move on. The obedient soul learns to ride them at the right time and is carried to wealth effortlessly. You may find that obedience to intuition leads you into unexpected places. The conversation you are guided to have may introduce you to a connection that changes everything. The sudden urge to start a project may lead to an opportunity that multiplies beyond your imagination. The quiet knowing to say no to something may save you from loss and redirect you toward increase. Each step may seem small, but together they create the path of prosperity designed specifically for you. Intuition never misleads, and when followed faithfully, it always brings increase, protection, and abundance. To refuse fear is to stand firm in the truth that abundance is your natural state, and that nothing in the outer world has the power to rob you of it. Fear is faith turned upside down. It is belief in loss, belief in failure, belief in lack. Every time fear is entertained, it sends a message to the subconscious mind that danger is real and that you must prepare for the worst. This state of mind blocks the flow of prosperity because it is rooted in doubt, and doubt cuts off the current of supply. The truth is that supply is infinite, guided by divine law, and cannot be taken from you by man, circumstance, or condition. When you refuse fear, you shift your energy from contraction to expansion, and expansion is the very essence of wealth. Fear often comes disguised as caution or practicality, whispering that it is safer to hold back, to stay small, or to prepare for the worst instead of expecting the best. But the more you yield to these whispers, the more you reinforce the belief that lack is stronger than abundance. To refuse fear is not to ignore reality, but to see a higher reality, one where divine order governs all things and ensures that your good reaches you at the right time in the right way. The appearances of delay or challenge are temporary, but the law of abundance is eternal. Fear focuses on appearances, while faith sees beyond appearances to the truth that provision is already secured. Every time fear arises, you must meet it with a declaration of truth. If fear says, "You will not have enough," you answer, "My supply is limitless and flows to me now." If fear says, "You will lose what you have," you respond, "What is mine by divine right cannot be taken away." If fear says, "You will fail," you affirm, "I walk in victory and success is inevitable." This practice retrains the mind to respond with faith instead of panic. Over time, fear loses its grip, and the habit of truth telling becomes your natural response. Fear also manifests physically as tension, worry, and hesitation. When you refuse fear, you choose peace, calm, and decisive action. Wealth does not come to a restless or anxious heart, for that energy signals lack. Wealth comes to the one who is calm and assured, for assurance is magnetic. The calm spirit attracts solutions, opportunities, and open doors because it vibrates at the frequency of abundance. Even in moments when fear tries to overwhelm, choosing stillness and breathing into faith creates a shift that allows prosperity to continue flowing. The refusal of fear also brings protection. Many have lost opportunities not because abundance was absent, but because fear caused them to delay, to doubt, or to walk away too soon. To refuse fear is to step forward boldly, even when you cannot see the entire path. It is trusting that each step will be revealed as you walk it, and that every circumstance is working together for your increase. In this state, you cannot be shaken by outer appearances, for you know that unseen forces are working for your good, and that nothing can stop the abundance prepared for you to live in expectancy. To create an atmosphere where abundance must appear, because you are preparing a place for it. Expectancy is the evidence of faith, the quiet assurance that what you desire is not only possible, but already on its way to you. When you rise each morning expecting miracles, opportunities, and financial increase, you set a vibration that draws them to you. Life responds to expectation because expectation is a signal of belief. Just as a farmer plants seed with the expectation of harvest, you must plant your words, thoughts, and actions with the certainty that prosperity is inevitable. Without expectancy, even the best affirmations are weakened, for expectancy is the fire that gives them power. Many live without expectancy, preparing only for disappointment, rehearsing in their minds all the reasons why their dreams cannot happen. Such an attitude attracts more lack because it is a form of faith in failure, but when you shift your outlook and expect good in every moment, you open channels that were previously closed. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles, you hear possibilities where others hear no, and you recognize blessings that others overlook. Expectancy sharpens your awareness, making you alert to the movement of abundance around you. Living in expectancy requires you to act as though your wealth is already unfolding. You prepare the space, you plan with confidence, you take steps that align with your vision. If you expect increase, you handle the resources you already have with care, because you know more is coming. If you expect wealth, you speak with confidence and carry yourself as one who is already prosperous. This is not pretense or arrogance, but alignment with the law of manifestation. The universe fills the container you prepare, and if you prepare little, little arrives, but if you prepare much, much is given. Expectancy also transforms your emotional state. Instead of fear or worry about tomorrow, you look forward with joy. You rise each day wondering how abundance will find you, not if it will find you. This shift in energy makes you magnetic, drawing the right people and circumstances into your orbit. Those around you sense your confidence, and are inspired to connect with you, support you, and offer opportunities. Expectancy does not wait passively, but actively engages with life, knowing that every moment carries the seed of increase. The power of expectancy is that it aligns your inner world with the reality you wish to experience. When you expect lack, you unconsciously create conditions for lack. When you expect wealth, you create conditions for wealth. This is why it is essential to guard your inner vision and refuse to allow doubt or delay to weaken it. Even if outer circumstances do not yet match your expectation, hold steady, for the unseen is always working to bring the visible. To live in expectancy is to walk as though the answer is already given, to rejoice as though the blessing is already here, and to move through life knowing that abundance must appear because you have prepared the way. Faith makes wealth inevitable, because faith is the unwavering conviction that what you seek is already accomplished in the unseen realm. Faith is not wishful thinking, nor is it hoping that somehow things will turn out for the best. Faith is certainty, the inner knowing that abundance is already yours by divine right, and that no outer condition can prevent it from manifesting. It is the invisible force that transforms possibility into reality. When faith is present, struggle ceases, for you no longer question whether you will receive. You know you already have received. This consciousness of certainty creates a powerful magnetism that draws wealth, opportunities, and success to you without strain or delay. Many people live in hope but not in faith. Hope looks forward with uncertainty, saying, "Perhaps one day I will prosper." Faith speaks with authority, declaring, "I am prosperous now, and wealth flows to me continually." Hope wavers when obstacles appear, but faith stands unmoved, knowing that appearances are temporary and that truth must prevail. It is this firmness of faith that makes wealth inevitable, because the universe always aligns itself with unwavering conviction. Just as the earth responds to the farmer who sows seed with assurance of harvest, so too does life respond to the soul who plants words and visions of abundance in the soil of faith. Faith also transforms the way you act. When you believe without doubt that increase is yours, you take bold steps, you seize opportunities, you speak with confidence, and you move forward without hesitation. You are no longer paralyzed by fear of failure, for failure does not exist in the consciousness of faith. Every action becomes infused with expectancy, and that expectancy accelerates results. Faith makes you see doors where others see walls, paths where others see dead ends, and supply where others see lack. This shift in perception is not imagination, but alignment with divine truth, and when you align with truth, wealth must appear. Faith is strengthened by the words you speak and the visions you hold. Each affirmation of abundance, spoken with conviction, builds the structure of faith within you. Each image of yourself already wealthy, held with gratitude, deepens the belief that it is inevitable. The more you reinforce faith, the less room there is for doubt, and once doubt is removed, manifestation is swift, for doubt is the only true barrier to wealth. Faith creates an open channel where supply can flow freely, unobstructed by fear or hesitation. To live in faith is to carry the atmosphere of victory wherever you go. Others may wonder at your calm assurance, but you know that abundance is already secured in the unseen and is making its way into the visible. This assurance attracts people, opportunities, and resources to you because faith is magnetic. It declares to the universe that you are ready to receive, and the universe always responds. Wealth is not a matter of chance but of consciousness, and when faith becomes the foundation of your consciousness, prosperity is not just possible. It is certain. Abundance is not somewhere far off, waiting for years to reach you. It is here now, waiting for you to claim it. When you release limitation, speak words of wealth, see yourself already rich, follow divine guidance, refuse fear, and live in expectancy, you set into motion a law that cannot fail. Wealth is not just possible for you, it is inevitable. Step into it boldly and watch how quickly life responds with the overflow. You were born to receive,